already know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 29 of the Seattle Attack franchise mode. If you guys remember last episode, we pushed the Calgary Flames to the limit. Game 7. Super close game. However, we ended up not really showing up in Game 7. So we are here today to go through the offseason and try to rebuild our team and retool it and figure out what's going to be the issues going forward. So we're starting off with the NHL entry draft. Let's get right into it. I don't really have anything else to talk about, and let's just get right into it. So let me just also say that I have been scouting a bit, and there is a bunch of really good top prospects that are all probably like 80 or so overall. And look at this guy. He looks like a obviously good player. This guy, good player. This guy I was really interested in. However, he's probably going to go in the top, probably top 3 or so. This guy as well. I mean, you can see obviously there's a bunch of really good picks here. However, I don't think we're able to get any of them, to be honest. So what I did also see down here is, a top 4 right-hand defenseman. And although he isn't scouted at all, that kind of makes me more intrigued of why he's up there and, all that good stuff. So let's just see. I mean, is it worth trying to trade up to try to get him? Yeah. But then also, it's a huge risk. Obviously, if we give up, a ton of trade value and a ton of good, players and prospects or whatever we have to trade to get up there to get him, then, we're risking that. So if we give up, just say, a defenseman, a prospect and a pick or something like that to get one player, you're relying on that one player to be amazing. So, that's the kind of risk here. So let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think what I'm going to do is try to simulate a couple picks, like the first 5 picks. Because if I do remember, I think we have the 14th pick or something like that. No, not 14th. What is it, 19? I don't remember what it is. What is it? We don't have a first round pick. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of something else here. But we don't have a first-round pick. So that's kind of the issue here. And as far as anything else goes, we don't really have anything we can really trade other than we have Zibanejad, who I'd be willing to give up to get something better. Then we have, a huge left wing pool of guys I'd be more than willing to get rid of other than Connor, basically. I mean, Hoffman, that's the other thing, is Hoffman was a player that I was going to re-sign. However, he puts up similar numbers as Berchi, but, when they're both at good overalls, they could be 85s or so. But, Hoffman's up this year, and he'd probably, I tried to extend his contract. He wanted $5 million, but since we didn't really make it too far, we might have to pay him $6 million. But at that point, you'd have to do something with either Berchi or Spooner, and it was just a whole big, shenanigans. So I'm going to try to trade Berchi or Spooner, most likely Spooner because he has a little bit more trade value on him. But I'd probably try to get rid of one of my left wings to get rid of some salary and to get back a pick. My right wings I'm super happy with. I mean, most likely we'll just have Ryan moved up to the NHL this year and probably not even go for another player. And I'd be happy with those 3 guys there. Then defensemen, I'm happy with our team here. As we saw in last episode, Shattenkirk didn't retire, so he's still with us. But this is our team. So what is the plan? I mean, we have both of our backup goalies, I guess, have trade value, but they're both 1-year deals. So they're both going to be up in a couple days or whatever it is. So we can't really do that. I don't really want to trade Jurasina because I feel like he's obviously going to be a good goaltender for us. I'm trying to trade Fitzpatrick to try to find something good for him because he's got 2 years left. But do we want to kind of go for next year as a not to tank year, but kind of just to use it as a development year to get all of our younger guys better? I am not sure. So the plan is we need like the 10th overall pick. So we'd have to trade it to like Vegas, Toronto, Carolina, one of these teams probably to try to get the player that we're looking at. So let's go here. So 80 overall. All right. 80 overall. All right. Well, what was the next player? So Berchi for 2/3. I feel like we can get a second on him, so I'm going to decline that for now. See, this is the play I was talking about. The 79 overall, 18-year-old left wing. I was really interested in him, but we weren't going to be able to get to him. So what else do we got? Keep Simmons. So now we're going to mid-60s, it looks like. Okay, so where is he on the list? So he's still down there. So if we simulate like another 3 picks maybe, then we'll have to see. All right, let's go to Vegas here. Hopefully we can get past Vegas. Ooh, Berchi for the 38th overall pick. Ooh. So if we were to trade Berchi, we'd need to re-sign Hoffman, is how I'm working this deal, basically. So what is more worth it? To keep Berchi or to keep Hoffman? Let's see. Berchi is 30 years old. Let's just compare the two. Obviously, we're not going to do a 2-for-1 here, but let's just compare the two. So Hoffman's got 1 year left. We'd have a similar contract on him for next year. Hoffman is 3 years older. He has more like 60 overall points. This year was a little bit down for him, but Berchi was, I think, wasn't he like lucky to get 50 points? No, he's kind of up there too. So if we're going to get rid of Berchi, we're going to keep Hoffman. Do we want to make this trade? Berchi for a second. Now, that is a good second, obviously. Let's do it. I mean, we've had him for a while. Let's try to change up the direction a little bit here. Would we want to risk going one more pick? See, he's right there. Oh, gosh. I really don't want to risk it. They really didn't want to make that trade at all, so we couldn't make it work. So we're going to have to try to get it with another team. So they didn't take him either. Let's try to go for Carolina's pick and try to get the 10th overall. We have the next trade lined up here where we're trading with Carolina. We're trying to get the 10th overall pick. So we have, once again, Zibanejad and Spooner. We added a second-round draft pick. And obviously, we're going for the 10th overall pick. And then Raffle and Ledoux both have 1-year contracts with a little bit of money and no extension. So these guys essentially are useless. They're only here to make the trade work as far as numbers go. So let's see. Do they want to do this trade? Accepted. I'll take that. That's giving up not a lot to get hopefully somebody that's going to be really awesome. So this is our 10th overall pick. Where's our guy? So we're making a huge risk on this guy. Plus, even if he's not that great, we have a good right-hand defenseman, hopefully, in the system. And, hopefully we can make this guy work. So we're making a huge chance here. We gave up Zibanejad and Spooner to make this trade work. So let's see. It's a moment of truth. Let me just make sure I'm on the right guy. Kari Metinen. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's Finnish. Who knows? Let's click on it. Make pick. 77 overall? What? Okay. I thought it was going to be like, maybe like a 69 or 70 or whatever overall. 77. Okay. I mean, was that worth it? We got rid of Zibanejad and Spooner and a pick, and we got, all right. I'll take it. Let's oh my gosh, let's continue on. So another trade here, we have Vegas wanting Fitzpatrick for a first and a second. And although this might be a good trade, I'm not going to do it only because I don't really have a plan for, a goaltender yet. So I want to see what's in free agency and see what's on the market as far as goaltenders go. And then we'll have to make a decision on him later down the road here. But here we go. So we're at the 38th overall pick right now. And I'm still in shock over Metinen or whatever the heck his name was, that he was actually like super good. I mean, I was not expecting that at all. I didn't, research him or whatever. I mean, we're way down the road of players that I'd actually know. So that's good to see. So all right, what else do we need here? I mean, we got lots of really good picks. We got, you know, Gormley up here that looks to be, you know, pretty decent. We have some more centers we can get, you know, a couple of wingers. What do we want? I think I'm just going to go with our top pick up here with Gormley. I mean, he's a right wing, but he's obviously left-handed, so he could play, you know, either wing, it looks like. So let's go with him. 65 overall. Okay, low elite, so it's still all right. I mean, it's still really good. We gave up our second round pick. So I think we should be on to our third round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Fitzpatrick again for a first and a second. I'm going to say no to it right now. Like I said, don't really have a plan for Fitzpatrick going forward right now. So let's wait on and see unless we get something, you know, super crazy as far as the deal goes. But let's see what else goes on here. So we got some more players here. That could be a good pick. I mean, we'll mark him right now. What else? Versteeg. All right, none of these guys are scouted super well either, which doesn't help. All right, so Perry. He seems to be decent, but, you know, I'd rather go with the other guy that we're looking at. Standard looks decent. Ooh. Might try to grab him with a fourth. All right, let's grab our first guy up here. What was his name? Myers. Right-hand defenseman. You know, we need to fill the system back up. 55 overall. All right. He looked to be a lot better than that. But either way, let's move on here. Fourth round draft pick. I don't remember what our guy's name was, but he's probably gone at this point. But all right, let's try to find someone new. So at this point, ooh, I'll probably try to grab that guy. Unless there's something like insane. Our last pick of the draft right now is going to be Dan Paduan. I don't really know how to pronounce this guy's name, but we're still in the third round or fourth round or something like that. But it's not going to be really too exciting, so we got a good pick in him, 64 overall. But unless anything else crazy happens or, you know, we're about to make a trade or something, I'll bring it back. However, if not, we'll see you in the re-sign stage. So here we are at the re-sign stage. We only had really one good pick, I guess, after we cut it off there. We had a 65 overall. I believe it was a center or something like that. But the only really good thing we got was him. No trade offers, no really looking for a trade or anything. But here we are. We got to re-sign our players and, you know, see what the deal is going to be, you know, going forward. The only re-sign we have to really not do at all is Jeff Carter that we're just going to release anyway. A couple of AHL guys we're going to sign immediately. Let's see. I'm trying to focus on our NHL team first so I don't get, you know, too ahead of myself. We'll come back for the guys we're going to sign. But here we go. So, Raffle, you're gone. Who else do we got? We had one more up here, right? I don't know where he went. All right. So, let's Hoffman, we got to resign. So, $5 million, 2 years. Let's just try $5 million, 2 years. I mean, why not? So, Kempe, what do you want for a contract? 1.8. I'll give you 1.8. Kemp, I'm going to resign him. Honestly, he deserves to be a lot higher in overall after the performance he put up. Domi, 72 overall. I'll take it. You'll be down there, and then we'll focus on those guys in a second. All right, so I'm not even sure how to pronounce that one. 35 points. He's been playing on our top line down there. And then we got this guy as well. I'm gonna release that guy. I don't know. He hasn't really gotten better, and he hasn't really done anything else. So let's continue on here. So Reinhardt we're gonna get rid of. Ledoux we're gonna get rid of. And then we have Dobson. So we're gonna re-sign him. How about $1 million for you? We're gonna want to sign our guy again. There we go. All right. So who else do we got? Tavares down here. What did he do? So he's been pretty decent down there. Let's give him another year. Yep, let's give him 1 year. Perfect. Anyone else? So we're gonna have to sign a couple of defensemen for down there, but it looks like we got some prospects in the wind. Then goaltenders, my favorite part. So Varlamov, let's just instantly release you. Subban. So he was pretty good last year. You know, very similar numbers as well. Let's see. Didn't he kind of like suck at the end of the year? Isn't that a thing that happened? I don't remember. But let's see. What do you want for a contract? Okay, I'll give you $1 million at 1 year. That's no problem. I'm going to try Scott up in the NHL this year as well in the preseason. And we're probably going to sign a 6th goaltender so that way I can see what Jerky does as well, just to give them a couple of games. But I'm going to go sign some of the AHL guys, and then we'll get right into and to see who accepted. Looks like only one didn't go. Okay, so we had 2 players that didn't re-sign with us, Hoffman and Subban. So let's raise his money up a little bit to 5.5, and he should accept that. I don't see why he wouldn't. And then Subban, he said he wanted 1.1. We gave him 1 mil, and he didn't want that. So let's try a little bit more, 1.25, and then let's simulate on and see if they want to deal with us. Well, Hoffman ended up re-signing with us, 1-year deal at $6.5 million. However, as you can see at the top of the screen, Malcolm Subban did not want to re-sign with us. As much as I tried to offer him a contract. But let's do the trade block real quick, and then let's see who the free agents are. Trade block is done. I have not looked at the free agents yet, but here is the first look at the free agents. What are we gonna have here? Ooh, all right. So we got a couple of good picks. We could possibly go for Ryan O'Reilly, William Nylander could both help us. Ryder could help us. But let's be stern about this because I don't think we have many roster spots, but we might have to make a few. But goaltenders, this is the one of the bigger questions here. So they don't really have anyone that I'm very much interested in. So they don't really have a NHL starter, which is what I was looking for. But Subban's up there. He did not want to re-sign with us, so it looks like he wants a bunch more money than what he wanted from us. Even though we offered him close to that number, he still didn't want to accept it. But I guess this year we'll have the backup battle between Scott and actually it might just be Scott because I want Jerky to get a good couple year or two under his belt in the AHL as a starter. But we'll have to sign a prospect goalie. But as for everyone else, I kind of want to go count our numbers, see what we need, see what would be more beneficial to get, and see what's going to be the issues going forward. So let me go count what the numbers are, and I'll be back and make a game plan. Here's what I'm thinking. What would make most sense is instead of trying to make a trade for number 1 center, there is Ryan O'Reilly on the free agents list, and he wants only a 2-year deal, which at 32 years old, that's not a bad deal, because if I were to sign like a guy to like a 5-year deal, I'd probably end up regretting it. So for a 1-year deal, or no, a 2-year deal, excuse me, for Ryan O'Reilly, it'd probably have to be at like $8 or $9 million. Is it worth it? The money kind of isn't, but we have tons of cap space. We have everything else we kind of need. I'm trying to go after, a couple of prospects. But other than that, I mean, everything is kind of like we have our NHL team secured. We have our forwards, defense, and goaltenders all set except for one. And then we have, obviously, our prospects in order. So we kind of don't really have anything else to do this offseason. I mean, usually it's like a rebuilding thing. I'm going to try to, explore a trade for Fitzpatrick. But for right now, I think the best course of, action would be to try to go for Ryan O'Reilly. And, yes, he is not the best of skaters. However, he's still decent at faceoffs. And, he can put up points regardless of, what role it seems you put him in. So he can put up goals as well. But, we're looking for the more of a rounded offense to play alongside with, our other guys. So we're going to try to go for him. I mean, does he have any? He doesn't have any other offers right now, although it is the first day. So let's try with like an $8.75 million offer for 2 years, and see what that does. Oh, am I gonna regret that? I don't know. But like I said, we have a couple of the prospects we're going after. So for now, let's just try to focus on these guys, and if something comes along for Fitzpatrick or for whatever else we're looking for, then we'll explore that. But let's try to get these guys signed and move on. There's the prospect goaltender we have and the prospect centerman we got. So it's a similar situation to Zibanejad from the other year where he's just a really good young prospect. However, the guy we got is a centerman. However, we're going to have to move him to left wing because he's not very good at faceoffs. So unfortunately, we don't get Ryan O'Reilly. My goal is to win, and I don't think your team's in a position to win anytime soon. Well, you apparently haven't seen our team because, we made it to the playoffs last year. But he signs with Vegas. And you guys remember how Vegas did last year. Not very well. And I don't think they made the playoffs. If last year's playoffs taught me anything, it's to be deep at center. Now, with our current team, we have Turris, we have Horvat, but then we have Cody Glass as our third-line centerman. And usually when we face off against these tough teams, they're pretty much like 85 overalls through their third line. And if you see the trade on the screen, that kind of puts that point as a main focus for us. Now, Ryan O'Reilly didn't work out for us. However, we found Chicago, who has, that's left wings, but we want centermen. But they have tons of guys that are kind of not available, but that they could get rid of. Now, out of all these options, I chose that DeBrincat wouldn't be a good fit, only because he's terrible at face-offs, so he'd have to be a winger, and we already are good on wingers. Then I saw Nuge there, we checked him out, but then we have Jonathan Taves, who everybody knows what he is, he consists of, but he's getting older, and we're trying to get younger, better. Schmaltz just doesn't really fit as far as, he's no real better than Glass. Then I looked at Wang down here and Dupree. I don't know how to pronounce this guy. But neither of them are really great at face-offs, and they have a ton of trade value to where we wouldn't be able to really get to them. And, they look at the rest of their team. They have some decent players around them. So I feel like they could also use some prospects in the form of Semin, Richter, and Stock. So let's see if this one goes through. Nope, it doesn't. So let's add a pick. How about next year's 3rd and 4th? There we go. So we got it. With a 3rd round draft pick, we took off the 4th, and it went through. So I'm really excited. I mean, Nugent Hopkins definitely brings a lot to the table as far as, being a centerman, not a defenseman. But you look at our team now, and we have Nugent Hopkins, Turris, and Horvat as 3 very good centers that are all going to be, fighting for, I guess, the top 3 lines. And it has nothing to do with Cody Glass. I mean, he just kind of got caught in the crossfire in a sense. But he'll move down to be our 4th line centerman. Now, will we maybe try to trade him away so he could find a 3rd line job somewhere? Maybe. However, for now, this year, we're going to keep him there and, see what happens from there. But like I said, we have 3 really good centers now, 85 and 284s. And, we have some really good left wings, really good right wings, so I'm happy with that aspect. Our defensemen are all very good. Obviously not the best, but, we have good ones coming as well. And then we have our goaltender situation figured out for this year. We are going to move Scott up to the NHL, and then we'll have Jaracina down there, playing pretty much all the time, trying to get him better so he could eventually take over and, see if he earns that NHL spot. However, for now, I think I'm going to simulate up to the preseason and get the line sorted, try to explore some trades for Fitzpatrick, see if we can get a better goaltender or a different or better one. Not necessarily overall-wise, but just better in general. And we'll see where that one goes. But for now, guys, let's simulate and see what happens. We have a very, very tough decision on our hands here. And as I was scrolling through the teams, I kind of found Cam Talbot. Now, Cam Talbot is kind of at the end of his career in a sense, but he's still an 89 overall. He's 36 years old. He has 3 years left on his contract at $6.5 million. The money I don't care about. The years I kind of don't care about. But we need to win. And this next year will probably be our last since NHL 19 is right around the corner. And, I kind of want to focus on a little bit of a tiny break from NHL before NHL 19 comes out. So I'm thinking, if we want to go into win now mode, or we have to win mode, we're going to need the best goaltender we can get. And scrolling through the teams, I mean, there's not really any better ones. After all the searching through the NHL goaltenders, there's only kind of 1, potentially 2 trades that really make sense if we want to go into win now or win next year, no matter what mode. And it's either trading for Cam Talbot to Edmonton, or it's getting Corey Schneider from the New Jersey Devils. that's kind of our only two options if we want to get a better goaltender immediately. And the 3 goaltenders I really wanted are not available, in the fact that Matt Murray, Braden Holtby, and Thatcher Demko. None of them are available. And if we wanted to go into we're going to win next year mode, I feel like Cam Talbot is the guy that can take us there. If he can perform as well as we know he can and at his potential next year, we will win. However, do we want to take that risk trading Evan Fitzpatrick? Now, Evan Fitzpatrick has not been horrible. He's not been horrible, but he's been kind of inconsistent since we've had him. Right? He always either starts off slow, then has like a really nice patch, and then, it's kind of inconsistent. So do we want to go to a guy that knows what he's doing? We're going to have to. Honestly, I'm making the bold decision. We are going to win next year, no matter what. Next year. Let's do it. It's a bold move, I know. However, let's take this team to the next level. We're not going to get anywhere by staying the same. We're not going to get anywhere by doing nothing. We're not going to get anywhere by keeping guys that are doing okay but not great. So other than that, I think that's it for now. I'm going to simulate up to the preseason so you guys can see the preseason battles, and then we'll wrap it up from there. So here we are at the preseason, and it's not really much of a battle as I thought it was going to be. As you can see in the lineup, we have our 3 centermen that are going to be fighting for their spots. I went off of how they did last year as where to put them as to start at least. And we have Kemp up here just to see what he can do during the preseason. We took out Kempe, didn't trade him or anything. But on defense, we have Dobson up here, and we have Metnin, or whatever his name is, the new guy we just had, just to see what they can do. And in goal, we have Jaracina and Scott with, all of these guys waiting to have their turn, rotating into the lineup. So that's going to be the preseason battle. I'm going to, make the determinant on the roster after that battle is done. However, that is it for me today. I know it's a long one, but it's the off season, and it's one of the biggest years yet. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body so I can take you wherever. Like, I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body, I can look at you and